Okay. Let's go, Jen. Me and you. Tag team, baby. Let me put my lip gloss on. I might need your help. I don't know how to I don't know, call someone up or not. We'll figure it out. I'm figuring it out.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's go. Let's see. Hi, Julia. Hi, Carlene. Welcome. Hi, Patricia. Hi, Stephanie. Navy. Hi, guys. Welcome. Judah, if I pronounced that correctly. Welcome. Hey, Melissa. Welcome, welcome. Carmen, Hannah, maybe if I pronounced that correctly. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Let you all come in. Hi, Stacy. DeLasper, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Tamara, I see some familiar names, familiar faces. Some of y'all are repeaters, repeat offenders. I love it. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. I'm going to just give it another minute or so and let everyone kind of come in. I love it. Hi, Mario. Oh, welcome. Good to see you. Oh, I love this, guys. You guys, the chat is open. Chat box is open. Today, I want to get incredibly interactive, okay? So actually, let me, I like to rename myself here. Coach Stella in the house today. I'm so excited to be with you guys on this Tuesday afternoon or morning or evening, wherever y'all are coming in from. Welcome, welcome. I love it. Hello, hello. So great. I'm so excited to be with you guys, okay? So if you see my eyes, I'm like looking at the chat, and Lauren says, good morning. I love that. Hi, Lauren. Welcome, guys. So I am Coach Stella. I am so excited to be here with you. I am the mindset coach here on the team at Champions for Our Children. And you know what? I got to tell you something. I'm riding solo today. Usually I see some, again, repeat names and repeat offenders here. So, you know, most of you guys have seen me with Michelle. Maybe you've joined our Potty Power boot camp. Maybe you have seen me on Nonverbal to Communicate, or just doing some workshops with Michelle. And so I am so excited to be here with you solo, talking all about mindset today. And guys, I want to offer that, guess what? I was really freaking nervous today. I have done so many workshops with Michelle and lead group calls every single week. I do this on a regular, and today I was absolutely scared shitless in like the best way possible. But I want you guys to know that whenever we're doing something different, of course, we're getting out of our comfort zone. And of course, it's going to feel weird and different, okay? So I want you to know that we're all human and we can be afraid and still do amazing things anyway. So what do you say? Let's kick us off, okay? So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to share my screen because I do have a whole workshop prepared for you guys today. Now, I am not the best with tech, so I have my tech girl here, my amazing Jen, my assistant. She's incredible. So let me share my screen. Jen, am I doing this right? Yeah. Let me know, Jen, if you can see it. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. You guys are seeing my video, my screen here. Hold on. Autism Mommies.
Yes, that's the one.
Manage your mind. Here we go. Slideshow. Let's do it. Okay. Let's do it. Wait, hold on. Hold on, hold on. Hold on, guys. Please forgive me. Here we go. Now we're gonna go. See, look at that. We're all new. We're going from the beginning. I think I was at the end. Okay, guys. So you can see my screen, Jen?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. All right, guys. So we are here today for the Autism Mommies Master Your Mind workshop. Okay. And so today, introducing myself again, Stella Rivers here, Champions for Our Children mindset coach. And you might be thinking, like, what the hell does mindset have to do with autism or my kid? How is this going to help? That's exactly what we're going to be talking about here today. Okay. So for today's pipeline on the agenda, we're going to be talking about Michelle's story, Michelle and Juliana's story. We're going to be talking about why you're here. We're going to be talking about the big three, this concept that we call the big three. We're going to be talking about the champion mindset and why you need it for your baby, how the brain works and how it impacts you and the results that you have and you want for your babies. And then, of course, we're going to be talking about the Champions for Our Children masterclass. Okay. Now, one thing I do want to have as a disclaimer today is that y'all want tactical, like, how do I get my kid to go on the potty? How can I get my kid to talk to me? This workshop today is all about this, because this is impacting the big three. This is impacting how you're going to get your kid to go on the potty. This is impacting what you're either doing or not doing for your baby. Okay. So if you're looking for tactical, we got plenty of workshops for that, but that's not what this is today. Okay. So I want to set the tone already here at the beginning, because the masterclass, that's what this is for. Okay. But not today. I want to talk all about your thoughts, your mindset, your feelings. So I'm going to kick us off with Michelle's story. Jen, let me know if you can hear that. Okay.
I remember when I got pregnant with my daughter, I felt so grateful and so blessed. And the point had been, and I finally thought that I was, finally some expectations for her. I thought of all the things that I thought she was going to do. I could girl. Right after her first birthday, I started to notice her behavior change. She went from, saying map. She was obsessed with Dora the Explorer, Mama, Dada. She was saying it all. Good girl, say map. Hit all of her milestones up until that point. She walked at 1. She was eating solid. She just, she looked really good. And then I just remember her, it felt almost overnight or very quickly, where her demeanor just changed. She went from this super happy baby to crying and tantruming, just frustrated all the time. And I remember saying to my mom one day during one of these tantrums, like, where did my happy baby go? But I didn't think anything past it. I think I was kind of not ready to fathom that something could be off, even though maybe the telltale signs were there. Dressed. You gotta get dressed. Gotta get dressed, honey. Time to get dressed. She started to lose the words that she had gained. She wasn't saying mama anymore. She wasn't saying map. She just seemed really disconnected from us. Instead of playing with her toys, she would take them, dump them all out of her toy box, and just start twisting them around her hands aimlessly, with no intended purpose. She was really kind of in denial about it. And then I remember one day we were in the middle of a store, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she just started screaming and yelling like somebody had slapped her. I don't even know what the problem was. And I was so mortified. I didn't even know what to do. I was so scared. I literally just left the half full cart in the store, picked her up, and just ran out of there. Never went to that store again. I just didn't even know what to think. And that was probably the first time it really kind of stung for me that maybe something is wrong. They diagnosed her. They didn't diagnose her right away. They said that, she was too young for a diagnosis. I didn't even know what they meant when they said that. I was like, diagnosed for what? I just had no idea what they were talking about. And then they said, we'll come back in if you're not seeing progress. And I said, okay, and a couple of months later, I'm watching these speech therapists play with her on the floor. I'm not seeing any progress and felt like she was getting a little worse. And then we went for our 2-year-old wellness visit, and the doctor said that she was behind if she wasn't using 20 words with intent. And that was just, that was probably just the knife to my heart. At that point, I really couldn't deny that something was up with her anymore. So then I called the county back in, and she was diagnosed on the spectrum. And I remember that day, and it was worst days of my life. It was my darkest hour. I could easily say that as a mother, as a woman, as just a human being. It was probably one of the hardest times I had ever gone through. And I remember just being so, I went from being so happy with God, so thankful, to being so pissed at him for doing this to her and wrecking this beautiful gift he had given me. And for a while there, I struggled. I struggled to figure out what this meant, or what we were going to do, or how this was going to define her. All those dreams I had for her future were just completely shattered. And I just had no idea what was going to happen next. And I went from just hopeful to just complete blank when I thought about the future. One night I was thinking, I'm going to die one day, and who's going to care for her like her? And something about that thought just snapped me out of my depression and my anger and my fear and said, listen, we got to get to work here. I promised that when she was born, I was going to be the best mother I could be to her. And that promise hasn't changed. In fact, it should mean more now than ever, not less. She needs me now more than ever. And I didn't know at the time what we were capable of, or what having those changes, that mindset shift for me was going to do. But I wanted to know that at the end of every night, I could look myself in the mirror with confidence and say, did you do everything you could, Michelle, to give her the best possible? And if the answer was yes, then that was a good day. And I wanted the answer to be yes, 100%. And no matter where the cards fell, I know I could leave this earth saying I gave her everything I had, no regrets. And as I've navigated this world with her and walked away that day after having that thought, I really just grabbed the bull by the horns. I became her fiercest advocate. I'm not a special education master's degree teacher. I never had any formal training in ABA, but I knew that I was going to learn whatever I needed to learn to be really strong for her. And Juliana lost all of her language. Cheerios? What Cheerios? Okay. She was nonverbal when she was diagnosed. January 1. Okay. What's up? We taught her sign language. Show me. Juliana, show me. Then she went from sign language to word approximations. Then she started to speak. She went from the most restrictive preschool environment. She was in a 614, most restrictive preschool, special education preschool environment you could be in. To now where she is almost 8 years old. She's in the second grade class in a gen ed school, integrated class with typical peers. She speaks beautifully now. What did you like about school? She has a personality. She has conversation skills. There's still things that we need to work on, but for the most part, her future went from black to now having possibilities. And none of that could have happened had I not kind of gotten out of my own way and really hit the ground running and started to take action for her. And I can't say that I can do that for every parent I coach, but what I can tell them is I will have them feeling like I did, looking at myself in the mirror, you looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, I was everything I could be for her today. I have no regrets. And whatever happens, it happens. It's really for us as parents to know we fulfilled the duty that we promised. when we had these children, which was to be the best versions of ourselves, to live, to raise these children. I've helped now hundreds of mothers, coach them one-on-one to do the same things I did, to help them to be strong, to help them to craft plans where we're seeing constant progress. This is what I want to do. I want to give you the chance that Juliana's had. I want to give you every opportunity to give your child that kind of
Dear Canada, today is a day full of happiness, many great memories to remember again, and great times. I hope you will remember. Happy birthday, love, Jane.
I absolutely love that. Let me keep going. I've seen that video so many times, and no matter what, it still hits me. And so, why are you here? You know, guys, why are you here? I want to talk about that today. So, you want your child potty trained, but you keep failing. You want your child communicating and to be as independent as possible. You want to stop feeling guilty and blaming yourself for where your child is. You want to stop feeling lost on how to get your child to essential life skills. You want to feel confident about what the future looks like for when you're not here for your baby. You want reassurance for yourself as their parent. And you also want to stop feeling like every bad thing in the world is going to happen to them. And you want to stop feeling like when you take them out in public, people are judging you. And you also want to stop comparing your child to other children that you see too. Okay. Now, I want to talk about this concept called the big three. So, Champions for Our Children, we talk about the big three, and these are the three essential skills that every child needs for a life of independence. Number one, that's communication. Number two, 0 to baseline problem behavior. And number three, of course, potty training. Okay. And so why is it that we struggle so much with the big three? Because you might be sitting here thinking, well, I'm 1 for 3 in the big three, or 2 for 3, or 0 for 3 in the big three. Why is this such a struggle? And that's because our mindset is the gatekeeper to the results that we have for our babies. Okay, that's what we're going to be talking about today. So, the champion mindset. Okay. Now, when Juliana was born, Michelle remembered holding her in the hospital with high expectations of what her future could be like. And when she was diagnosed with autism at 25 months, all those dreams went black. And it was Michelle's darkest hour as a parent. And you saw that on that video earlier. And she thought Juliana's life was over, and so was hers. And I'm sure many of you guys here today can attest to that too. And she was mentally and emotionally in the worst space of her life. She spent the next few months in total grief, grieving the typical childhood she thought that they'd experience as a family. Then one night she had a thought, I'm going to die one day, and who will care for her like her mom? Michelle snapped out of that grief and snapped into action. She still had no clue what was going to happen, but she knew if she stayed in that grief, if she continued on this path and completely checked out, her daughter's life and future was finished. But whether it was this thought or something else, Michelle knew in her heart of hearts she couldn't stay in that dark place. So there's a movie called The Matrix. It's an older movie, but it's called The Matrix. And there's a part in the movie where it seems that a child was bending a spoon with his mind. And the boy says, do not try and bend the spoon, that's impossible. Instead, only try to realize the truth. So Neo was a character played by Keanu Reeves, and he says, what truth? And the boy says that there is no spoon. Keanu Reeves says, there's no spoon. The boy says, then you'll see that it's not the spoon that bends, it is only yourself. So there is no spoon. What does this mean? It symbolizes the idea that certain problems or obstacles only exist if one believes in it. Therefore, it's possible to overcome it by denying its existence. Now, disclaimer, we're not saying autism doesn't exist. Michelle is very open about the distinct difference between Juliana as a baby, who was diagnosed on the spectrum, and her son Cody, who was neurotypical. Okay? But the meaning of it signifies that a person cannot truly manipulate reality. A person can only manipulate themselves. And only when a person changes themselves can they change their reality. So one thing Michelle has always found fascinating are people that create the exception to the rule. So Michelle herself, she's always like toying with this idea that she could be the exception to the rule. And if she thought that about herself, then she most certainly could think that about her daughter, her nonverbal, diaper-wearing child with autism. Now, even though she was destroyed, shocked, sad, scared of what was to come with her newly diagnosed daughter, because Michelle saw autism the way that many of us, maybe you saw autism, like that movie Rain Man, this major debilitating disability, right? Through that lens of fear. But at that point in her life, she practiced in the belief that she could create the exception to the rule. She could be the exception to the rule. And by extension, Juliana could be the exception to the rule. Which, by the way, are all thoughts Michelle believed about herself. They're all thoughts Michelle believed about herself. And she chose every day to believe in herself, y'all. Every day to believe in herself and her baby. So thinking about this served her in her life and now in every aspect of her life. And Michelle also believes it's the reason that Juliana is where she is today. But for the first year, they were very much in their autism bubble, getting home services and doing those things. But Michelle just assumed that the way she thought was the way that all parents think. Okay? But if not about themselves, then absolutely about their babies. Because that's why we have our children, to love on them and mush on them and to raise them to be amazing adults. And she didn't think, a parent who didn't think like her, didn't have the same intention to love on them and raise them to be amazing adults. But what she and I have learned throughout our coaching is that one cannot exist without the other. Because it's the way of seeing the world, matrix style. Okay, bending the spoon. Remember that. Meaning, as a parent, I think I can't change anything for my kid if I don't believe I can create change for myself. I'm going to say that again. As a parent, if I think that I can't change anything for my kid, it's because I think I can't create change for myself. You can't change that autism is here, guys. Or maybe you have an impending diagnosis that you know is coming, but you can decide how you want to show up for yourself. And only when you do that can you change your reality and the reality of your baby. If you've already given up on a limitless future for your child, the big three won't happen. Or if you've already given up on a limitless future, what you already have for your baby will forever be the baseline. And if you don't think thoughts that create the action to change you and to change your reality, then you're going to end up like this, like some of these parents that Michelle encountered starting at preschool. So parents of preschool children were talking about giving up their homes to the state to be in a group home. So when they die, their child will definitely have a room to live in after they're gone. Parents putting teenagers that they'd rather have at home with them in a group home because they needed to get them in the system and they didn't want to lose their spot when they would need one as an adult. You guys, preschool age. Okay? Parents of young children going to estate planning workshops, transition planning workshops. parents talking about starting businesses for dignified employment of children who will be adults with special needs. Parents who spend tons of time trying to change the world and make the world inclusive to the child instead of focusing on getting the child prepared for a future that stops for no one. Now, Michelle considers herself to be a planner, and she's always thinking 5 steps ahead. I can attest to that. But she takes a huge issue with parents that future trips their children into a group home before the age of 5, 10, 15 for that matter. All parents can't tell you at 5, 10, 15 years old where they'll be at 16, 18, 25, or 35. Your parents couldn't do that for you. They had hopes of where you would be, but they couldn't know with certainty. And how many times has a professional or a doctor or therapist told you something about your child that was 100% wrong? And if you think this way, if you give up on your child before the job has begun, then you're missing out on the opportunity to meet your child where they are right now, helping them learn the skills where they are right now. So I want to talk about pre-matrix thinking, okay? Specifically, I want to talk about the top 5 autism thoughts that are driving results that you don't want right now. So as I shared, I coach in the Champions for Our Children group on a weekly basis. I am coaching some of the most amazing autism parents. And these are some top 5 thoughts that keep regurgitating, that keep coming up, month after month as we're bringing in new clients and, as we're graduating them out. So I want to share them with you today. And I really want to go deep into this and coach you guys on these today. Okay, so I want this to be interactive in the chat. Okay, so I want you guys to go ahead. I want you to post in here if this has ever resonated with you and do all of those things. Okay, I want you to let me know if you've ever had these thoughts. I've tried everything and nothing works. Okay, let me know. Post in the chat if you've ever had these thoughts. I've tried everything and nothing works. Maybe you're thinking them right now. Yes, Mandy says absolutely. Yes, Mandy, yes. Yes, Stacy is a teacher. She says, as a teacher, yes, as a teacher, bless your heart. So true. Lauren, yes, happened to me for sure. I've tried everything and nothing works. Don't worry, guys, I got you. We're gonna deep dive into coaching on this. Lauren, yes, she says yes, and then I feel like a failure. I got you. Okay, I've tried everything and nothing works. This is a big one. Here's the next one. Okay. My child doesn't understand it's not clicking. My child doesn't understand it's not clicking. How many of you guys have even thought this too? Maybe when it comes to potty training, maybe when it comes to, yes, I see yups. Oh, for sure. Yes. My child doesn't understand it's not clicking. Yes. Okay. Oh, yes, Janine, I got you coming right up, my friend, with that thought. Autism shouldn't have happened to us. Why did this happen? Autism shouldn't have happened. Why did this happen? This is a big one. Yes, Kendra said for sure. Stephanie, yes. Tierhaas, forgive me if I mispronounced that. Yes, oh my God, every day. Yes, you guys. Yes, why did this happen? Latanya, yes. So, okay, guys. How many of you have thought, I can't handle this? All the time. Absolutely. I can't handle this. You guys, and this last one, I have to make the right choice for my child, the right decision, the right everything. It has to be right. Everything has to be right. Okay? All the time. Yes, Janine says, maybe says all the time. You guys, I'm going to coach you in on this, okay? But before I coach you, yes, and I feel bad for thinking that, Ava, forgive me, guys. I don't want to mispronounce your names. I want to respect you here. I am going to go in on this, okay? But before I go in on the coaching, I want to teach you how the brain works, okay? So our brain's job is to keep us safe. Our brain's job is not about making us happy. Okay, it's about keeping us safe. Okay, and what you currently believe right now about autism, about your child's diagnosis, about their ability to achieve the big three is a series of thoughts that you've rehearsed over time. That is all that's happened here. Okay, 60,000 thoughts a day. 60,000. Isn't that insane? And our brain often misinterprets our thoughts as truths. I'm going to say that again. Our brain often misinterprets our thoughts as fact, as truths, and bring in our lives. This is what causes the most pain in our life because we think our thoughts are so factual. Okay? But here's the good news. You have the power to change your child's future and create different results than what you're currently experiencing with your mindset, with your thinking, because your thoughts and the stories that you're feeding your brain create your feelings, okay? And your feelings are what drive you to take action, right? Which is what you do or what you don't do for your babies and for yourself. So by rehearsing a new story of possibility, by flooding your mind, by feeding your mind with story of possibility created by different thoughts that make you feel less terrible, less sad, less afraid, and more empowered, more motivated, more willing, then you show up differently for your kid. Okay? And when you show up differently, a different result is inevitable. Guys, this is why we guarantee results in our masterclass, because we teach you how to change this and we teach you the tactical with actions. We personalize that to you. A different result is inevitable. Oh, I get so passionate. I love this shit. This is what's so good about it, okay? So you guys all posted in the chat. And again, I do want this to be interactive, guys. I do not encourage texting and driving or anything of that nature, or texting and walking for that matter. But I will offer that I want to go into coaching here. So I want to take those 5 thoughts that are very prominent, and you guys all were like, yes, 100% all day. I think I want to show you the impact that it's having on your babies. Then I want to show you what else could be thinking, how else it could spiral a different feeling and generate a new action, okay? So I want to go into coaching here. I know Michelle and Melissa and her workshop, they tend to do coaching at the end. I like to mix my shit up. Coach Stella likes to mix up her shit. So I'm going to do coaching now. I'm going to show you what else is true, okay? So I want the chat open. I want you guys to tell me all the things that you're feeling, thinking, and I want to give you different scenarios that could be resonating with you guys right now, okay? So the first thing I want to do is show you thinking, which of course, again, pre-matrix thinking based on that analogy. Patricia said, sure do. When my kids are not around, mama curses. So I hope that your babies aren't around, and please forgive me if they are, okay? Have them leave the room. So fact, child not potty trained. So this is a circumstance that you guys may be experiencing. Remember, we talk about so potty training, communication, and of course, 0 to baseline problem behavior. I'm going to be using those circumstances as facts here. Okay. So fact, child not potty trained and wearing pull-ups. What's the thought? I've tried everything and nothing. I've tried everything and nothing works, right? And when we have that training, how does that feel? Maybe you guys have thought that. I've tried everything. How does that feel? Okay. Right now, to failure. Yes, frustrating. Mandy says, so frustrating. To Pathia, forgive me. I feel horrible. Yes, frustrated. Yes, true. The thing is that we feel defeated. We feel like a failure. It feels exhausting. Stephanie says it feels exhausting. The thing is, here's what I want to share, guys. What happens is that, yes, Julie says it feels exhausting. What happens though, I'm using your words here, when we feel exhausted, when we feel like a failure, we quit on ourselves. And we start to chip away at believing in ourselves to potty train. And what we do is we start to excuse disbelief in ourselves, and we start to blame the process. Oh, well, that 3-day intensive didn't work. Oh, I tried the naked from the ass down. That didn't work. We start to blame the process instead of taking personal responsibility. And we start to search for processes, but we do it from what's the point energy. Well, what's the point? It's not going to work. But I want to offer this, guys. This thought, like I've tried everything and nothing works. That thought, and I say this with love, but could it be true that it's our way of being like, well, I'm trying, but this is really me not really having to, I'm like, because I know that it's just not going to work anyway. So it's like, I'm checking off the but from that energy of, again, what's the point? Is this resonating? Yes. OMG. Yes. Yes. Patricia says, then when I fight hard, then when I fight harder, especially to prove to myself and others I can. Yes, Patricia, yes. And Mandy says, yes, sometimes I feel I just keep them in the pull-ups because it's easier. Yes, it's easier because you don't want to feel like a failure. Because you don't want to hear your own inner shit talk, Mandy. That's what's happening. Does that feel true? Yes. Kendra says exactly. Yes, guys, this thought is you avoiding your own internal beatdowns. Okay? That's what's happening. So what's the result though? What's the result? Guys, potty trained and wearing pull-ups. Yes. And yes, and Lauren says, honestly, no, I don't think I've tried everything. Well, and that's also true, right, Lauren? If we've tried everything, right? And this is where I want to offer, Lauren, hang with me. Actually tried everything, then we would have the result that we want, right? If we've tried everything, we'd have the result. Okay. So here's the fact. The fact stays the same. Child is not potty trained. Child, okay. Right. Child's in pull-ups. I want to offer this. Okay. I'm willing to believe in myself and my baby. I'm willing to believe in myself and my baby. Because when we're willing to believe in ourselves, we release the failure thinking. We release the mom guilt. We release all of that stuff when we're just believe in ourselves. We just decide I'm willing to believe. And this was Michelle's go-to for potty training. Potty training is not optional in my home. The thing I want to say, Lauren Lama, forgive me again if I'm mispronouncing names here. I love what you said. I haven't tried everything. Y'all haven't tried believing in yourself. That's what's happening too. That's the thing. You can do. Again, when we're chipping away at our own self-concept, when we're chipping away our own belief in ourselves, then that's what's causing the result that we don't want. That's what's causing us to put the pull-up back on. That's easier. Here we go again. I can't do this. This is why when we're willing to believe in ourselves, then guess what we start to feel? Willing, motivated. We can still feel fear. And if we feel afraid, but we feel willing and motivated at the same time, then we're more apt to approach the process differently, take personal responsibility, look at other success stories, and start thinking, I can be that exception too. We start expecting accidents instead of crossing our fingers, hoping that the process is going to work. Every process when it comes to potty training should have fine print. Accidents, may contain accidents because it happens. It's part of the process. Expect it, then we don't beat ourselves up because of it. And we look for what is working. Okay. And then what's the result? Child gets potty trained. Okay. Does everyone see the clear distinction between I've tried everything and again, I'm willing to believe in myself and my kid. I'm willing to believe in myself and my kid. Yeah. And Steph, you and I have talked about this. My frustration comes when I can't seem to figure out how to get it to fruition. And Steph, you and I had a conversation about this, and that's in here, my friend. It's you getting out of feeling like a failure and you believing that you can do it. You always feel like you're gonna win eventually. But here's the thing. What if you just decided you're winning right now? You keep telling yourself like it's gonna happen, but it's already happening. Your son is already 85% potty trained, but that's not good enough. That's the problem. That's the thought error. Okay. Yes. You're in master class, so you come to me every week. So next coaching. Okay. The next thing. Yes, Mandy, not feeling like a failure for sure. We're going to talk about that. Okay. There's more of this, guys. I want to break down all 5 of those thoughts. So stay with me, hang with me here. This is, I'm going to do some deep dive coaching. Okay. Next circumstance, autism diagnosis. Okay. We're going to go into this one. We have the autism diagnosis as a fact. Okay. In a court of law, everyone agrees that here it is. Or a pending autism diagnosis for those of you who may not have it yet, okay? The thought, it shouldn't have happened to us. Why did this happen? It shouldn't have happened. Why did this happen? Me, one word emotion in the chat. How does this feel when you think that thought? This shouldn't have had this happen. Lauren says shitty. Yes. Angry. Yes, Lauren. Another Lauren. 2 Laurens. I got two Laurens today. Sending love to you guys. Onika says defeated, heartbroken, devastated. Yes, devastated, hopeless. Oh, Lulu, yes, she said sad, helpless. You guys, yes, yes. Mandy, problem. Yes, I will send the replay out. Yes, okay. Sad and hopeless. Yes, Bucky. Bucky says yes. Sad and hopeless. I hear you. Yes, why him? Heartbreaking. Yes, Tamara. Guys, I hear this every week in group, and I'm going to coach on that right now, okay? The emotion, yes, you feel resentful. Why him? Why him? That's, Lauren, why him? Or why my kid? Why us? That is a question, right? Which is a thought. So the feeling is resentful. But yes, devastated, heartbreaking, all of those things, guys. Those are emotions. And when you feel that way, guess what's happening? We create our own suffering by fighting what is. And then we start to fantasize about this better life that we could have experienced. And then what happens is because we're fantasizing and we're comparing and we're fearing and we're freaked the fuck out, we're not present with our children. We're not present with our baby. And we're not seeing the growth that's happening right in front of us. And we're not taking action toward creating an independent life for them. Because we're spiraling in the why and the shitty questions, and we're blaming ourselves. Was it me? Was it something I ate during pregnancy? Was it something in my environment? Could I have done something differently? Then we blame ourselves. And then we're comparing to our nieces, our nephews, the kids at the parks. And then we feel shameful. We beat ourselves up for even thinking the thought. Yeah. And we're like, well, did I do something in my past life? Well, it must have been the time that I accidentally, stole something at the store, and now this is the punishment. Oh, I'm getting punished for something. And this is what happens in our action line when we think that thought, why us? Why did this happen? Autism shouldn't have happened. Yeah. Janine says, I asked myself why and where this came from. Why my child? Why? And what I want to share, guys, from a coaching perspective, is that when we ask our brain questions, our brain will always answer. So when we ask, why did this happen? You know, our brain likes certainty. We're going to go ahead and answer that. So what's the easiest thing that we do? We blame ourselves. Naturally, it makes sense. We like to close loops in our brain. That's why when you watch TV shows, they're purposely called cliffhangers. They leave you hanging because our brain wants to come up with what happens next, and we like to close the thought loops. Yes. So what happens is that both you are suffering as a result from this thought. Lauren says, this is a toxic way for me to think. It's hard to break. Yeah, Lauren, and we're going to talk about that, okay? I'm going to teach you how to go ahead and break that way of thinking over time. But I want to just show you that it makes that everybody here is questioning that, and everybody here blaming COVID. You know, there's a lot, I talk to a lot of parents where they're blaming COVID as a time, COVID either, or, you know, whatever. Yeah, Janine says, that's me. Yes, totally. And so again, we have to blame someone. We have to do something. We have to give our brain a reason. Yes, Olu says, I sometimes blame the environment. Yes, we do, guys, but it's the blaming is just giving certainty to our brain. We have to close those thought loops. Okay. So what I want to offer is this. So we have the autism diagnosis, and I'm going to give you, I want to put you guys to work here right now. Okay. So again, if you're driving, I don't want you to do this. I want you just to maybe speak it out loud. I want everyone to be safe here. Okay. I can appreciate that these workshops, or my workshop, is during the day here. Okay. So the fact is, autism diagnosis. And the thought could be, yes, autism did happen, and I'm the best person to help my child. I want everybody to put their brain to work right now. I want you to post in the chat one reason why you are the best person to help your child, why you are. Everybody right now. I want everybody to force their brain into writing out why you are the best person to help your baby, as difficult as it may even be right now. I want the chat to blow up. Yes, Onika, because I'm a fighter, I'm going to fight for this child. Yes, to Passia, because I'm a mother of this child and I know what's best for him. Yes, Hannah, no one knows my kid like me. I'm his mother. Yes, Kendra, I know him best. Yes, Joanna, because I know that he is in there. Yes, Melissa, because I never give up. Yes, Olu, because I brought him into this world. Yes, you fucking did. Delasper, I know my baby better than anyone in this world. Yes, you do, Patricia, because you know the child best. Yes. Don says, because no one loves him like me. Yes, Don. You guys, I'm going to start crying. Catherine says, because I'm the mother. Yes, you are. Latea says, because I never give up. So good. Rosalinda says, because I won't give up on my baby. That's right. I am a fierce advocate. No one knows him like I do. Julie, so good. Lauren says, I always get back up and keep going. It's not an option to stay down and do nothing. So good. Lauren Watt says, I'm a strong mama and I will fight for him like no other. You guys, yes, yes. And I want to ask you this. Mario, I'm going to get a dad in here. It says, because no one loves him like I do. That's my baby boy and I'll never give up on him. So good, you guys. Yes, Tierha says, because I promise him I will do everything. Yes, so good. Janine, I can't give up on my kids. My kids along and they have me. Yes, so good. VJ says, each child has a right to be happy. So good. Zeta, I think I missed you too, my friend, because I'm going to do all I can to make life as possible for her, as simple as possible for her. Kendra says, I'm not crying. Yes, me either, you guys. And I'm going to ask you this. How often are you telling yourself that? How often are you telling yourself that? Versus, why us? Why me? Yeah. Yes, Angie, I'm grateful for you. Right? Maybe though says rarely. Tapassia, very less. Yes. Notice, guys. And this, yes, one out of the 60,000 thoughts, maybe, exactly, not enough, not enough. This is the power of the champion parent thinking. This is how we move forward and we move out of that pre-matrix thinking, guys. Because right now, if we think about a balanced scale, so I'm a Libra, October baby, right? But if we think about a scale, what's happening is that you're just rehearsing these thoughts so much more. Why autism? Why me? Why autism? Why me? Right? I've tried this, nothing works. All of these negative thoughts that we're thinking, we're just rehearsing over and over and over and over again. Versus the maybe one time you're telling yourself, well, I'm the best person to help my child because I don't give up, because I'm a fierce advocate, because no one loves them like me. What you guys just wrote, you got it. Yes, Latanya, you got it. You're welcome. I'll catch you on the replay. One thing I want to offer, guys, is that each and every one of you who wrote down a power thought right now on why you're the best person to help your baby, I want you guys to write it on a Post-it note. Put that sticky note all over your goddamn house, right? Pardon my French. All over your house. I mean, put it on a Post-it note. Look at it, stare at it, attach to it every day. Because the more that you feed your brain this thought, the more that, guess what, you're going to start feeling so much better. Another power thought, I didn't sign up for autism, but I signed up for my kid. I signed up for my child, okay? This is such a good thing. Yes, you're welcome, Latoya. Yes, so good. So good, okay? Because guess what, guys? When you feel this way, I want everyone, like, what are you guys feeling right now? What are you guys feeling right now with the thoughts that you just wrote down? What are you feeling? Share with me. Power. Yes, so good. Tell me, empowered. Onika says, yes. Delasper, power, so good. Possibility, Joanna, empowered. Catherine, yes, so good, guys. Yes, hope, not alone. Yes, you guys. Determined, Olu. This is everything. This feels, yes, Tirhas, not a los. Rosa says strong. So much better than angry, sad, hopeless, resentful. Am I right or am I right? And when you are feeling strong, empowered, determined, inspired, accepting, not alone, when you're feeling those emotions, guess what's also possible, guys? You detach from making the autism diagnosis personal. You detach from it. You see that there never was a better situation, that you have the power to create a better future for you and your baby. You stop comparing to other kids because it's fucking pointless and irrelevant. We make decisions for our baby rooted in trust, not fear. We step into our power. We stop shaming ourselves. We stop shitting on ourselves. Okay? That is the power of thought work. You guys are feeling that right now. You guys are triggered in a good way. And imagine the action that you could be taking for your baby now. Now imagine if some therapist was like, oh, your kid's nonverbal, they're never going to talk again. You'd be like, the hell they are, right? That's what this is about, because you start believing. What's the result? You help your child. So good, guys. Let's move on, okay? I want to do another one. Again, a different scenario. I'm picking scenarios, guys, based on the big three, okay? And what I coach on in a regular in our group coaching program, okay? So, child not communicating, their learning sign, or you can insert here a bridge form of communication, okay? Maybe it's PECS, maybe it's the AAC device, whatever that might be for you, okay? The thought is, my child doesn't understand, it's not clicking. Remember this one from earlier. They don't understand, it's not clicking. And here, the emotion, you feel frustrated. You are blaming yourself, you're blaming your kid. Why aren't they getting it? Why isn't this happening? Why is it not clicking? They're just not understanding. You're feeling angry, you feel annoyed. You're feeling these things. The action, it's half-assed effort. You're not using your signs. You're like, oh, just give them the milk, right? Give her the juice, give her, gummies or snacks that she wants, just whatever. You're looking for the click, but you're missing the micro moments of what is clicking for them. You give up. You start to believe thoughts like, yeah, they're never going to communicate. They're just never going to talk. I'm never going to hear them say, I love you, mommy, or I love you, daddy. We start to like indulge these thoughts. We start to give into them a little bit. And what's the result? The result is that my child's not communicating. Okay. Now we're going to do another one. Champion parent thinking. The child's not communicating. The fact always remains the same. Here is this is such a power thought. I could be wrong about this. I could be wrong about this. This is a strong punch of a thought. I could be wrong. Like, I could be wrong about this. How many of you are willing to be wrong when it comes to your kid? If the outcome is that it's going to get them communicating, if the outcome means that they're going to stop their problem behavior, if the outcome means that it's going to get them fully potty trained, I could be wrong about this. Here's another thought. My baby's ears work. They do understand. If you have joined our Nonverbal to Communicate, or maybe you've bought our Nonverbal to Communicate guide, Michelle talks about this. She says, this might not be working yet, but these do. These do. Yes. So good. Joanna says, I've been wrong 1,000 times before. I'm willing to try. Yes. We can be wrong however many times. Just show me how to get it right. And we're going to talk about that one too. Yes, we can be wrong. We're willing to be wrong and learn. If we're willing to be wrong and learn, okay? And then we can ask ourselves, where is it clicking right now? Where is it clicking? Because remember, when we ask ourselves shitty questions, we're going to get shitty responses. But on the flip side, there's two sides of the same coin. If we ask ourselves empowered questions, we get empowered responses. So if we put our brain to work on, guess what? Where is this clicking right now? Where is this clicking? Then our brain is going to go to work on that. Yes. Yes. So good. Lauren, yes, he deserves to have a fucking voice. Yes, of course he does. He does. Communication is the voice before verbal communication. It's the first step of the communication journey. I love this, Lauren. So true. So good. The emotion that we feel, guess what? When we tell ourselves, like, I could be wrong. My baby's ears work. Where is it clicking right now? We get curious. We feel open. We feel certain. Yeah, my baby's ears work. They may have selective hearing, right? My boys do. They have selective hearing. So we feel certain, we feel open, we feel curious. And then what happens is that we look for progress. We see what is working. I call it find your wins in the program. Where are we finding our wins? My master classers here know what's up, right? Call it finding your wins. We find where the growth opportunities are, though. The growth opportunities, not the fails, but where we can build on. And we could be willing to be wrong. And this is where we can tweak and test and find these new strategies and continue the momentum. Yes, Julie, yes, so good. Our kids are communicating, not always verbal, but we want to build on that. Absolutely. That's exactly what the tactical is for. But we have to believe that they already are communicating. Even if it is problem behavior, that's exactly what's happening. Okay, I want to move on. Let's talk about the next one. Okay, here's another scenario. Child stimming, having problem behavior in public. This is a big one. Okay, this is a big one. I just coached on this last week in my coaching session. I can't handle this. I go out in public. Oh, the kid's acting a damn fool. Right? I can't handle this. I can't handle this. And the thought is that we're feeling anxious. We feel judged. We feel anxious. We feel tense. How many of you guys have experienced this? I want to get back to coaching you guys in the chat here. Yes, as I drink my water. Lauren says, totally, I have. Onika, yes. Navy says, yup, me. I can't handle that. You feel anxious all the time. Yes, all the time. Lauren says it's easier to stay home. I'm going to show you exactly what happens, Lauren, for sure. When we go out in public, when our kids either are having tantrums, maybe they're stimming, whether they're engaging in all of that, what happens is that we have the thought, I can't handle this. I can't handle this. We get worked up. We get anxious. Exactly. We get on edge and we flee the scene. Guess what? You just read my mind, Onika. It's like I wrote this slide for you. It's like I wrote this slide for you. And Kendra, you too. You leave and you worry about what other people are thinking. And then again, Kendra just says, I don't go out with him. Yeah. Or you don't go out of fear of not being able to handle the problem behavior. And then what happens is we hope it doesn't happen. We go out and we're like walking on eggshells and we're hoping it doesn't happen. And then we get surprised when it does. We're like, oh God, right? The bomb went off. Oh God, we got to get out of here. That's it. Got to get out. Exactly. Yes, Olu says, I focus on what other people will say about him. Yeah. We focus on all the other nonsense and we keep telling ourselves, I can't handle this, which revs up anxiety, our fight or flight response, and then we're booking the hell out of there. Remember Michelle's story? She left the cart in Target in the middle of the aisle. So what's the result? You don't handle it. You don't handle it. You don't even try to handle it. So let's talk about some other options, guys. Yes, Angie. So good. Champion parent thinking. Okay. Fact, child stimming, having problem behavior in public. The fact stays the same, guys. It always stays the same. Yeah. The thought is, I have handled it. I want you guys to write in the chat, post in the chat. Have you actually handled it? You may not have handled it the way you wanted to, but you have handled it. Could that feel equally as true? Post in the chat. Yes. Yeah. Onika. Yeah. I have handled it. Yeah. And again, not saying that you handled it the way that you wanted to, but you have handled it. Is that true? Yes, many times. Don says, hell yeah. Julie, yes, you have handled it. So Lauren, I want to offer coaching on this too, okay? I just don't want to have to handle it. Yes. But is that true too? You have handled it. That's a thought that gives you power. Another thing, I'm capable of handling it. You guys are here for a reason because you guys are boss parents. I know we have some dads and some grandmas here too, but you guys are boss parents who are capable. But it's about pivoting out of that shitty pre-matrix default autism narrative that you're currently feeding yourself right now. Lauren, even for you, you just said, I just don't want to have to handle it. But here's the thing. You do want to handle it because you want experiences. You want experiences with your baby and you want experiences with your life because you don't want to be stuck at home. We all were stuck at home with COVID and we want to live our life, right? We want to be able to do this. I want to handle it. I want to handle it. But here's the thing, guys. Yes, you're right. I do. I want to get the fuck out and do things. Yes, you do, Lauren. Yes, Lauren. I know that you do. And that is a thought error. And I can call you out on that right now, Mama. And I say this with love. And this is what I do every single week. every single week in the coaching program. I notice these thoughts, these thought errors, I call them, and I go in on them. She goes, I need it. I say it with love. Because that's the thing, is that we could tell ourselves, we could try to hypnotize ourselves into believing, I just don't want to deal with it. Well, guess what? How many times do we not want to deal with shit, but we do? But if we know that the more that we deal with it, the more we take the temperature down on our reaction, the more that we're able to navigate our babies in those moments, the more that we alleviate all of the drama, the more that we alleviate all of the mental bullshit, the more that we stop giving a fuck about what people think in public around us, the more that we're able to navigate it so much more easier. So we're not saying that we have to deal with anything. We're just parenting. And when we go out, our kid has more practice reps too, being out in public, being exposed to those sensory triggers, being exposed to those things. So good, right? So what happens is that we feel understanding. Yeah, like guess what? I am capable of handling it. I'm certain that I've handled it in the past. I have equally as empowering truths here. I can't handle it is actually a lie. And I have handled it. And I want to handle it because I want to get out. And the summer's here. And I want to go to parks and outings and fairs and whatever. I want to be able to do those things. So what happens is you go out in public, you detach from other people's opinions, you focus on your baby, you get curious about what sets off the problem behavior or the stimming. We start gathering data. You're able to calm yourself down. You take the temperature down in those moments and you anticipate it rather than hoping it doesn't happen. We anticipate it, but this time we're intentionally anticipating it, knowing that we're going to take care of it, knowing that we got it, knowing that we have the tools to tactically resolve it at the root. And that's what this is about. And what's the result? You handle it. That's the result. Okay. And this is the last one here, guys. I love, by the way, I want to just commend you all for being here. I want to commend you all for being open, for being willing to receive this coaching, because this is like massive, major shit. And this is so good. And you guys are really open to this. And I love you all for this. Okay. The last one here. As we're approaching the summer, I'm already having consultations. I'm already having coaching sessions regarding school, therapy placement. What do I do? Do I do ABA? Do I do, full-time ABA, sometimes school, sometimes not? What do I do? There's all of this going on. And then we have that thought, like, I have to make the right choice. I have to make the right decision. Who here has thought that? Who here is currently thinking that? Who here makes their decisions in that place? I have to make the right decision, the right choice. Yeah. Maybe says, oh, for sure. Me, I'm going through this exact same thing right now. Yes. Okay. I have to make the right decision. Yes, me, exclamation point. So much pressure. Julie, you just nailed it. This is the emotion that you feel. Pressure. You feel fear. You feel indecisive. I have to make the right choice. I'm going to show you guys what happens with pressure, with fear, with indecision, with thinking that thought. I told you guys I was going to coach you and show you how it's so unhelpful to believe these thoughts, to rehearse these thoughts. I'm going to show you how it impacts you and your babies. It blocks your intuition. I have to make the right choice. You guys just shared with me, most, if not all of you, shared your power thought with me. I'm the best person to handle this autism because I know them. I'll never give up. I'm the best advocate. No one knows my kid better than me. But you're blocking your intuition with this pressure you're putting on yourself with, I have to make the best choice for my child, the right choice for my child. It ignites insecurity. It taps on the door of insecurity. You make decisions from fear. You're listening to external validation. You're like, oh, wait, what do I do? Michelle, tell me what to do. Hey, ABA therapist, speech therapist, what do I do? I don't know what to do. I don't know. I don't know. What do I do? It reinforces perfection thinking. Because if you're telling yourself, I have to make the right decision, then that implies that there's a wrong one and that the wrong one has consequences. Right? And if you're afraid to make the wrong decision, all you're afraid of is that more bad shit is going to happen. And you already feel like shit. Because again, autism, why us? Why my kid? Why me? Why our family? And then what happens is that if we do make a decision, then we're second guessing, and we just blame ourselves. And then we make a decision, and then we're just second guessing the whole time, when we're still blocking our intuition, and we're still questioning ourselves, and we're still living in fear, and we're still pressuring ourselves. How many is this resonating? Is this resonating with you at all? Tell me in the chat. Julie said, oh my God, you're in my head. I get that a lot. Yeah, all the time. Yes, 1,000%. Yes, guys. So here's the good news. Here's the good news about decisions. Here's the good news about second guessing. Here's the good news about having to make the right decisions. Okay, here's the good news. Right, I'm going to go in on this. Is that, again, we have the facts. The facts always remain the same. You will make many decisions for your child. I want you to think about how many decisions you've already made for your babies, even like before they were even born. What swaddle, what car seat. You've made so many decisions for your babies, and you will continue to make many decisions for them. And if I know you guys are people. I've seen many names here before in our world, in our workshops. Some of you guys are master classers, right? You will not do anything and make decisions that you haven't thought through. Could that feel equally as true? Can that also be true? Yeah. I won't do anything I haven't thought through. I won't do anything I haven't thought through. Are you willing to try that on, to adopt that one? If it's a choice that I don't like, guess what? Time will tell me, and I just make another decision. So often we think that every choice we make is final. There's decisions that we make, and then we see what happens. That's how decisions work. There's decisions, and then we see what happens. We just keep making decisions. This goes back to, I'm going to make a ton of decisions. When we have this added pressure of I have to make the right decision, I have to make the right decision, it's just added pressure that causes so much inner turmoil when it's completely unnecessary. So we get to trust, right? We have to have courage in ourselves to be decisive. We have to have courage in our power thought from earlier that we're the best advocate for our babies, that we're going to continue to fight for them. Let me ask you this. Do you think people who are fighters are indecisive? Do you think people who are fighters are second guessing? Do you think people who are advocates second guess? They just make decisions and they see what happens. So for you to become the champion, we have to start thinking, feeling, and acting like them now. And that's what we teach you in our program. So we let go of doing it wrong. We let go of the fear of doing it wrong, of getting it wrong, of doing all of those things. We disarm perfection. Perfection is not required for our babies on the spectrum. It is not required. We build courage in ourselves. And when we build courage, we remove that block. We remove that block to our intuition. We start hearing it. I just spoke to, this was, when was this? On Friday, I spoke to a caregiver, a grandmother to a child, and she came on the call and was like graspy energy, very like, what do I do? What do I do? Do I do ABA or do I not? And I was just like, what do you tell me? What do you think? What do I do? You tell me. And she's like, well, I'm really leaning towards doing this and that. You know, I'm really leaning towards, you know, doing school versus ABA. But then I was coaching her around how she had thoughts around ABA because she had a really bad experience with ABA, and not all ABA is done right. But there was a new owner, but she had a gut instinct of like, I want to give this owner a try. But she was so fixated on how bad the previous ABA was. I was like, your decision's made. She was like, you're right. And sometimes we just need someone to allow us to remove that block from our intuition. And that's the beauty of the work that I do. I help you see the blocks and I remove that shit. Okay. What's the result? You make your decisions for your child, not anyone else. Not the speech therapist, not the doctor saying, well, your baby's never going to talk. None of that nonsense, because you guys get to decide. How amazing is that? Okay. All right, guys, I want to go into how to rewire your brain. Because a lot of you guys, you know, already in coaching and having this interaction, you're like, well, how do I do it? How do I rewire? How do I break this habit? How do I break this pattern? I get it. We build our new beliefs on purpose by challenging the pre-matrix thoughts, by challenging that default autism thoughts. You ask yourself 3 powerful questions, just 3, not 13, not 30, just 3. Write these down, take a screenshot, do what you need to do here, and you will have it on the replay. Number 1, how does it make sense I'm thinking this right now? So often we shit ourselves for our thoughts. Stop judging. How does it make sense? Of course it makes sense. My kid has autism. How does it make sense? I'm upset right now. I'm so angry. My kid just had another potty accident. Of course I'm frustrated. Why? Why does it have to be this way? Of course I'm thinking this thought. What else is true? What else is the truth in this moment? What is the truth? Maybe it is that my kid is fully potty trained with number 1, not with number 2. Guess what? It's amazing. They're potty trained with number 1. What is the truth of this moment? My child is signing. My child is signing, and maybe they're not communicating verbally yet, but they are signing. Then what would my champion version of me think of this? What would my champion version of me think of this? And when in doubt, use the power thought that you had earlier. Why am I the best person for this job? Why am I the best person for my baby? You guys have all felt that twinge of power, that twinge of advocacy, that twinge of empowerment. And that feels just for sure 1,000 times better than fear, doubt, failure, any of those things that you are feeling at any moment that you're feeling negatively triggered. What's coming up for you with this slide? Does this make sense? How does this feel? Are these 3 questions that you guys can get behind? Before I change it, everyone took their screenshot. You all good? Yes, for sure. Amazing. I love this. All right. I'm going to keep going, guys, because I do have a hard stop. I have a client session coming up. So good. Okay. Now, building new beliefs on purpose. Okay. Yes, Julie, love this. It loves you too. One thing I want to say, guys, okay? Remember, when it comes to building our beliefs, we have our champion mindset, and we have you where you are right now. And you where you are right now, you may be in this pre-matrix thinking. You may be in this place of like, you know what? I'm a hot mess right now. I'm believing all the terrible thoughts. I don't feel good half the time, more than half of the time. I am not thinking positively. I'm not even thinking neutrally at this point, Stell. Help me. What do I do? Because the champion mindset feels so distant and so far away. So what I want to share with you is how we start to build these beliefs almost like a stepping stone. So what we want to do is wiggle our way out of where you are right now. We do that slowly and strategically. So all we do is notice when you're feeling like when you're thinking shitty thoughts that don't serve you, that don't serve your baby. The 5 thoughts that I shared today and coached on today, when you hear yourself thinking those thoughts, you just say to yourself, you know what? That's what I used to believe, and I'm working on unbelieving it. I used to believe that, and I'm working on unbelieving it. Okay? I could be wrong about that. Like, I could be wrong. Then you want to think about your champion thought, a new champion thought, whether it is about the big 3. My child will communicate. My child will be potty trained. Whatever that looks like for you, whatever you want to wrap your head around, I'm willing to believe this. Okay? I'm open to believing this. Because remember, we don't want to start believing a lie right now. If it feels like a lie, then it's not going to land. It's not going to stick. It can't feel like a lie. If it does, then it's going to be like one of those body positive people that's like, oh, I love my body, when you're like, yeah, I wouldn't be caught dead in a bikini right now, right? One of those. We don't want that. We want it to feel good and feel true now. So in order to do that, we got to have our brains buy in and our bodies buy in. So it's got to feel true now. I'm willing to believe this. I could be wrong about that shitty thought. That shitty thought is just something I used to believe, and I'm working on unbelieving it. Okay? How is this, guys? Does this feel good? You have some action items? You have some power thoughts? You have some power questions? Does this feel good? Okay? I want to introduce you to Mary. So Mary came to us, and her son was 7. Okay? Good. I'm happy. That was awesome, guys. So good. So Mary came to us. Her son was 7 years old. Okay? He was nonverbal and in diapers. And within 2 weeks of working with us, he was fully potty trained. And within a month, he said, Mama, for the first time. This is the power of working with us. So what you want for your child? You want to hear your child being able to speak. You want to hear their voice. You want a child who can use the bathroom and is not in diapers. You want a child that doesn't tantrum or get aggressive with you or others. You want to have a deep relationship with your child who can share just amazing dreams and thoughts with you and what they're feeling. You want your child to be able to go to any school, extracurricular activity, and without their autism diagnosis, just making it impossible. You want to have a drop and go at a birthday party or a sleepover. You want to be able to go on vacation and have fun as a family. You want to enjoy holidays and parties without your friends or family having to hover over and second guess what your kid's doing with their behavior. You want to know that when you're gone, that your child can be independent. You want your child to have a strong connection with their siblings and family. And what you want for yourself, you want an unbreakable connection with your child. You want peace with the diagnosis. You don't want to believe that autism is a death sentence anymore. You want to feel it in your bones that you didn't fail your child. You want to know that you left no stone unturned. And you want to know that your children will remember their childhood and say, Mommy gave me the most amazing one. You live every day knowing that if you died tomorrow, you gave it 110%, no regrets. You know that you raise happy, healthy, self-regulating children that grow to happy adults. So I want to read this email from Teresa. She's one of our master classers, and I want to highlight just a few keynotes. She said, my Ian, who is 10 years old, is officially potty trained. 2 magical things happened. He watched videos of people opening and eating candy on YouTube. So he got a huge peanut butter cup for Christmas, and it was the perfect reward for potty training. He gets a piece of the cup every time he poops on the potty. For number 2, we implemented a token board system, and his reward was a local hotel stay with a swimming pool. Bingo. He literally went to the bathroom and took a shit on the toilet. His teacher is just speechless because she has never seen such a quick turnaround in any of the children that she's worked with. I cannot tell you how much joy, unspeakable joy I have in my heart right now for all of us. A veil of depression that I didn't even know existed has lifted, and I can see and feel more clearly now. This program you put in place is so much fun and affordable than any of the treatments I have paid for. Now, one thing I want to say about Teresa, she was on most, if not all, of my mindset calls during her time with us. Most, if not all. And she showed up. And for her, she knew, she found those thought errors, we tweaked, we moved forward. We found those thought errors, tweaked, and moved forward. And you can even see in her email, Stella and Michelle, I can't thank you enough. Stella and Michelle, I can't thank you enough. Stella and Michelle, I can't thank you enough. This is the power, guys, of the mindset. Now, this is a note from Juliana's teacher to Michelle and her family, that Juliana has made more gains and skills than I've ever seen in my 25 years of experience. Now, again, guys, Michelle, like the magic of this program, yes, we give you all the tactical. Yes, we give you all the personalization. But the magic, the secret sauce of this program is the mindset plus the tactical plus the personalization. And that gives you all of it. So why join Champions for Our Children? Because every child on the spectrum is unique and you need personalized strategies. You learn that potty training is absolutely possible. In fact, guaranteed when you join us. And you feel confident as a parent that you're able to be the type of parent that you wanted to be before the diagnosis even came. You will start to reconnect to your child because communication is finally in place the way you want it to be. We're going to get to the root of your child's problem behaviors. We don't just address the symptoms, we address the root and we get it to zero. We're going to teach you how to live your life again, how to show up for an IEP meeting, how to plan a holiday vacation, how to get your kid on an airplane. How many of you are dying to go on an airplane again? When life happens, we can help you to get back on track. And if regression happens, again, we teach you how to handle it without the mental mind drama. Because yes, of course, it can feel scary. But we teach you how to take the fear out of it, how to take that noise out of it. We're going to learn from trial and error rather than quitting on our kids. Again, the only true fail is quitting, and we don't do that. We're going to teach you how to build that champion mindset so you no longer have to worry about autism every minute of every day, because that's exhausting. So our 3-month group coaching program, guys, guaranteed results. What you get when you join, you get lifetime access to our membership study vault, okay? We have courses on potty training, communication, stopping problem behavior, social skills, picky eating protocol, mindset training, stopping eloping, right? You name it, we have it. We are constantly building out month over month. You have first dibs on all of it as our master classers, okay? This is why we call it the Harvard of Autism. You also get 3 to 4 live group coaching calls every week. Michelle, she's the OG, right? CEO, founder of the program. She's your one-stop shop for everything. If you're worried about time, she's the call that you get on every week. Then you have me. I'm the mindset coach on this team. I hope that you enjoyed this here today. This is a sneak preview of what you get when you work with me. This every week, imagine in your corner, okay? Then you have our amazing team of BCBAs. Melissa, maybe you've attended her workshops. Stacy, who's absolutely incredible, worked with Michelle's daughter for a long time. Even Armando, we call him our trifecta. He is male and a BCBA, that shit unheard of as it is. And he's also a male on the spectrum, which is incredible. And he's married and he's the cutest human being in the world. So everyone gets their questions answered. And then we also have monthly specialists. So we have our registered dietitian. You have questions on, nutrients, on supplements. We believe in the gut-brain health and the connection between the two. Greer is your person. And then we also have our speech language pathologist. She is in the program. She loves it so much, getting massive results that she's like, yes, I'm coming to work for you. And so she does. Again, with us too, we also have our private Facebook community, guys. This is where you live when we're not live coaching you in group session. You always have access to our team. You can email Michelle and myself in between any sessions as well. If you feel like maybe you're not making progress, or maybe that you're seeing so much, you're ready for the next step before the next call, then yes, email us. We help and support you, okay? Support is our North Star. On top of all of that, guys, action back guarantee. What does that mean? If 90 days in the program, you're not getting the results that you came for, there's two options. You stay with us until you do, or you get your money back. It's that simple, okay? On top of that, you join today, you get one private session with me, you and me, my undivided attention, and you also have Michelle's undivided attention, one-on-one. Okay, second bonus, today you join, by midnight today, you get 5 months of the program instead of 3. Okay, what does that equate to? 60 plus calls to change your life and your babies. So for today only, guys, if you book into the program by midnight, I'm gonna have Jen put the link in the chat. You guys can go ahead and join us. So for today only, okay, it is gonna be $2,497. And of course, we have payment plans. We can split it up into 3 months or 4 months. So again, Jen is going to go ahead and put it in the chat. That's $16 a day, money back guaranteed, okay? Plus your bonuses, 5 months in the program, okay? So again, as a mindset coach, I know what you may be thinking. Can I afford to spend this kind of money? This is expensive, and I get that, okay? It's also more valuable than anything that you can buy because this is about peace around the diagnosis. This is about your mental. There's a lot of programs out there for autism for your kids. This program is equally as for you as it is for your baby. This is about an investment for the way that you live your life the rest of your life. And I want you to think about what it is costing you guys now, mentally, physically, emotionally, for diapers, for AAC devices, for all that stuff. Can you afford to pay that price any longer? And if you're thinking, well, I don't know if now's a good time, you know what? If you had to find an hour time, how would you do it? Today, you guys are here with me. You found time to spend some time with me. If you did it for today, then you could do it as well over the next 5 months. Because I believe in you. You're incredibly resourceful. And one thing is that we also help you in the program to carve out the time, to map out the time. And one of the biggest misconceptions is that, and I coach around this too on my consult calls, is that we think that this is going to, and we have to add more time and work harder with the time, you know, that we have to give more time with our kids. It's not that. We don't have you add more time. It's about using the time you currently have more effectively to get different results. That's what this is about. Well, if you're thinking I need to think about it, I can appreciate that. Okay. That's a thought that is kind of a cultural default, but it doesn't take time to make a decision. It takes information. And we think that the longer we wait, the more information we'll have and we'll be able to make that decision. But in fact, the opposite happens. Isn't that interesting? The longer you wait, the more that you'll actually feel less confident, more uncertain, and even more doubtful. So the reason some decisions feel solid and they feel certain is because our brain gives us that feeling when we make a known decision from the past. But right now, you've been making decisions based on your past, which is generating the same results. Remember that default autism pre-matrix thinking. So indecision is keeping you second guessing and losing precious time that we don't have. So all of these thoughts are way more expensive than working with our team with guaranteed results, again, or your money back. So if you're thinking, I failed so many times or I've tried everything, how will this be different? No, you haven't tried everything. How many times have you lost your keys and gone on a hunt for them? They always end up in the last place that you look. And you can hunt and look everywhere and then they just appear. And it's because the last place that you look for them is always where they are. So right now, you could be in the second to last place. And this program is the last place. And you'll find the key to unlocking the amazing future for your baby. Because we work with you and your baby until we win, because we don't quit and we get you to the finish line. So I do want to talk about unicorn syndrome really quickly, guys, because you may be thinking, oh, Julianne is so different. And oh, well, my child has severe autism and this works for other kids, but it won't work for mine. My child is broken. I'm broken. There's nothing out there that will change the trajectory for my kid. Number one, if you are thinking those thoughts, it's exactly why you need this program, because you and I are going to work through this on a weekly basis. But unicorn syndrome is a self-preservation state. If I stay here, I never put myself out there. And if I stay here, then, you know, my hopes and dreams for my baby then I can't be hurt. Does that make sense? So subconsciously, it's like, well, I can't risk trying and failing because then I won't survive. So sitting in I don't know again, asking shitty questions with no real answers get you stuck. So indecision is keeping you second guessing and losing precious time instead of making progress. And nothing comes from I don't know or bullshit questions that we can't answer. So just decide. Again, just decide that either you're not ready and you won't do the work, and that's okay too. Or decide that you're nervous, but you're willing to go for it, just like I did today. I was nervous as fuck before getting on here, and I just decided to go for it. Give yourself the gift of a decision. Because one thing I will offer is that you keep coming to our workshops. I've seen so many of your names. You keep coming, you keep showing up, which means that you feel that connection. And if you feel that connection, that tells me that there's some safety there. And that's amazing that you feel safe with us. So take that leap of faith and join us. All right, guys, what I am going to leave with, because I'm already late for another client, what I am going to leave you with is a 5-minute video about our client, what our master classers are saying. And then I want to say again, join us. Welcome to those of you who have already joined us. And I cannot wait to see you in the group. And I hope that you enjoyed this workshop that we coached in a very different way today. But I so appreciate you. I'm sending you all the love and light, and we'll speak soon. Click the link and join us.
So I guess I wanted to start asking you, what were your biggest struggles prior to joining the program?
I was going around and looking for organizations. I was looking for help.
So I started looking up online, and I really need somebody who's been through.
There's no access to any kind of services over here in Ireland. Googling stuff and trying to find something. I joined because I had a 3-year-old autistic son. So I knew I had to do something, but I didn't know what to do.
Waitlisted or just not available, to have somebody break it down to me.
And I got my husband who already thinking, okay, we need to speak to a PD.
I think my biggest struggle was understanding their potential. I actually didn't know, I was kind of relying on just the speech test.
I came in just feeling very helpless, very confused.
What can I do now that I haven't already done? What would be the harm? What can I lose?
Before participating, we weren't making as much progress. It was slow progress.
I believe that I found you on Instagram.
She is very turned off by a lot of doctors and therapists and things.
I went back and forth and I'm like, she's going to start ABA therapy on this day. And I told them that was my number one goal.
As everyone would be. I was a little skeptical because of how many times I have tried with Alexander.
On one end, I'm hearing, okay, she's, artistic, and, you qualify for a lot of services. And when I go and try to inquire about, we can't service her.
All right. So now, I guess, where are you now? You and your child, now that you've joined the program?
They're doing really, really well. Doing really, really well. I think their ABA program here is wonderful. We got very lucky with that.
One word here or there, what it was that he wanted, but not necessarily saying I want it would be apple or this or that. And that has totally blossomed. And now following what the BCBA said, which is starting really small.
Okay, so where I am now is where I kind of know that I'm in charge.
The changes in him in less than 2 months, I think I've been 6 weeks, they're miraculous. The behaviors are decreased. The stimming has decreased. The listening to directions has increased. The language has increased.
I just, set those goals for myself and cross them off. And once I did that for me, turn my focus 100%. And then I was able to get the work done.
You helped me formulate the confidence in myself to realize I'm ready to really go for it. I would not have gotten through it. It went so much better than I ever could have imagined.
I started listening to the tips for Michelle.
He's doing so much better. More eye contact for sure. We're working on talking, on saying some words.
Yeah, it went really well. The tips you guys gave me.
It doesn't seem like this big impossible thing.
I just been given something so precious.
He's more verbal, right direction, and I'm so happy to be part of this program.
We never in a million years thought that it would happen this early. He's making a lot more sounds. He's now at that point where he's no longer frustrated, since you and all of the teachers have given me all of the ideas and the strategies.
You know, we all want our children to succeed, and it's just been wonderful.
Would you recommend our program to any moms or dads that are going through this right now?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I would definitely refer anyone to this.
Yes, definitely. You guys need to do this program. It'll change you guys and your child's life tremendously.
100%. I do recommend it. You learn something new.
I would definitely suggest to go through this program for at least first 4 to 6 months.
This program has allowed that, and it's really great for that.
Take this course, do the one-on-ones, listen and absorb everything that this team has to offer.
You guys have a gift. And you're sharing it, and that's amazing.
So I will recommend you to anybody, whoever is out there.
It's been really great. It's been really great. And
This is going to help you. You can learn through other parents' experiences.
Just do it. Don't hold back. Just go all in with your daughter or your son, and I promise you will definitely see results.
So I guess I wanted to start asking you.
All right, guys. Well, thank you all so much for coming and for being here. And again, I'd love to see you all in the masterclass where I can coach you one-on-one more so and get you guys on a weekly basis. So I hope that you enjoyed today, and I so appreciate you being here. And I look forward to seeing you guys in my next workshop. All right, you guys take care.